Hello, I'm Phyllis Friedel, and I am now living in Los Angeles almost 2 years. And I was born in Chicago, the year 1929, July 14 to be exact, 1929. I have 2 wonderful daughters and 4 wonderful grandchildren, and they range in age from 12 to 22. And Leonard and I were married for 48 years. And he was a wonderful husband, a wonderful father, and a wonderful grandfather. You want to cut that out? You can cut that out. I lost him almost 3 years ago, and now I'm starting a new life in Los Angeles. Previously, I was living in Scottsdale, and we were married for 48 wonderful years. And I am an aspiring actress now that I'm in Los Angeles. I've been taking a lot of workshops and a lot of auditions, and I think that basically this was my forte when I was even a youngster. I used to be in plays in community theater. In fact, Leonard was in community theater with me in Omaha, Nebraska, and we had a wonderful time doing it together. We did Harvey together. No, he didn't play the rabbit, but he was there, and he made himself known. And just recently, I was in the background of 2 TV shows. One was Boston Legal, and the other one was Grey's Anatomy. And I'm not finished yet. I hope to continue with that. I enjoy that. It's just an inspiration to me to do this sort of thing. And as I say, I'm leading a new life now, and I'm doing things that I've always wanted to do. And what's nice is that I have a sister living in Los Angeles, and I get to see her quite often. This is my dear husband, Troc. He was a wonderful, loving, caring man. His heart was bigger than he was, and he was so loving towards his family. I will always remember him with much joy. I have fond memories of when Troc and I met. It was really very unusual. I went to a resort and I met a lovely girl. I think it was Nippersink, Wisconsin, and she was checking out. She was checking in and I was checking out. And as she was sitting at the bar, she meets Troc, and he just started to talk to her, and she said to him, "I know a very nice gal that you would like to meet." And right away he said, "Who would that be?" And she said, "Well, she's living in Kansas City." He said, "Well, I live in Omaha, but that's not too far. I go to Kansas City on business trips. Give me her name." And sure enough, this gal, Seva Roberts, I still remember her name, gave him my name and number. And shortly thereafter, when I was home, I get a phone call from him, and we had one date, and then I was going to be with my brother in Los Angeles for about 6 weeks on vacation. And he was very disappointed because he said, "Do I have to wait that long to see you?" I said, "Well, I'll keep in touch with you." And while I was out there, he called me. This is so funny. And my brother answered the phone, and he says, "Who do you know from Omaha, Nebraska? He sounds like a jerk to me." And then I went to the phone. I said, "He's not a jerk." And then I told him when I was going home back to Omaha, to Kansas City, and he said he would look me up again. And he did. And we went together for a very short time. And they were really weekends because that was the only time he could get away. And shortly thereafter, we met in January, and I believe we were married, I know for sure we were married August 22nd, 1954. He's a wonderful man, and I'm happy that I had the privilege of knowing him and being his wife and being the mother of his children. And he just was just incredible. He was 1 in a million, wonderful businessman, and it was funny how one incident happened. The singer that they made the movie on, Walk 1 Mile. I've got that wrong. Johnny Cash. Yes, Johnny Cash was one of his best customers, and he would always come into the store, and Leonard would wait on him, and he would always ask for black. That was all that he ever wore, was black. And that kind of stuck in my memory. And all I can say is he was a wonderful man. Leonard was a wonderful man. And he did go by the name of Troc, and everybody used to wonder what the name Troc was, and it was a nickname from his college days. He saw a movie called Winterset, And Eduardo Cianelli was the character in it. I don't know if anybody remembers him, but he kind of had bulging eyes and he kind of looked like a gangster. And when he came out of the movie with his college boys, they would say, "You're Troc." And ever since then, his own sister and his own family know him as Troc and not Leonard. So that I thought was kind of funny. But anyway, I was just so happily married to a wonderful man, and I have wonderful memories.
Phyllis, can you tell me a little bit about Troc, his growing up and his background?
Yes, he was born in Omaha, and he had two sisters, Bernice and Dorothy. Bernice is not living right now, but Dorothy is. As a matter of fact, Dorothy's in Los Angeles, and I keep in touch with her all the time. She calls me all the time. And he went to the University of Nebraska, and I guess his major was business, and he was in the service, and when he came home, he took over his father's store, the Fair Store, which was at 12th and Farnham, and he did such a good job at doing that, he decided to put in a little section for big and tall men, and he realized at that time that there was a need for that, and so he thought, well, he says, let's concentrate on that and not so much on the other. And so he opened up he sold the Fair Store, and he opened up another store called Jerry Leonard Big and Tall. And from then on, he just seemed to expand, first with the mail orders and then retail. And by the end of, I think it was 1985 when he retired, we had 26 stores, all in the Midwest. And he was smart in selling when he did, because if he had waited much longer, the competition was growing quite a bit. So we came from Omaha then to Scottsdale, where he wanted to retire, and we lived a good life in Scottsdale up until about 7 or 8 years ago when he took a little sick. But he enjoyed Scottsdale. He liked the community where we lived. We had a lovely home in Cheney Estates, and it was nice. Scottsdale is a very pretty place. But when I lost him in 2002, Scottsdale was not the same to me, and so I decided to change my life and to move out here, which I did in 2004. And what more can I say?
Tell me about your brother and your sister.
Well, my sister, thank God, is still living here. She lives in Westlake Village, and she too is an actress, and she loves to do what I'm doing, and we kind of do things together, which is fun too. We've gone to auditions together. And my brother was a darling guy. He had a family, and he died at an early age. He died of a heart attack on the tennis court with a dear friend, a doctor friend of his, and he was 45 at the time. But I do see Rita, my sister, quite a bit, and that's nice. We have a lot in common. The only thing is she lives quite far from me, but I'm not afraid to ride the freeways, and I go to see her. This makes her happy. She's not too keen on the freeways or driving much. And that's my family. I have my sister, and I have my my 2 daughters and 4 grandchildren, and 2 wonderful sons-in-law. And Lynn is the older daughter, and her husband Steve. They live in Austin, Texas. And they have 2 children. Jay is 22 and Becca is 19. And then my other daughter, Randy, the younger one, lives in Scottsdale with Dave, her wonderful husband, and her 2 children, Lindsay and Matthew. And I feel blessed that I have a wonderful family, and they're very supportive of me. And of course, when I made a move to Scottsdale, Randy was a little concerned about it. But she said, "Mother, if that's what you want to do, and if that's what will make you happy, then please go with my love." And we talk just about every day anyway. And it's wonderful. I just feel that I'm closer to my family now than I was really when I was living in Scottsdale, because I do, commute back and forth, and it's good. And my life is really complete now. I think I have filled the void by doing what I want to do.
Talk to me a little bit about your days in Omaha, your children growing up.
Oh, I had a good time in Omaha. I was I was a life member of the National Council of Jewish Women. I was a life member of Hadassah. And I was in the trooping theater, which I loved, at the National Council of Jewish Women. And I had some good friends in Omaha. And I just loved being in Omaha. I think it was a wonderful place to raise my family. I'm glad that they went to school there. Lynn graduated from West Side, so did Randy, West Side High School. And they made a lot of friends, and they loved it. And we stayed in our home on 88th Street for many, many years. People were wondering why we never moved away, or not moved away, but moved to another location. We loved where we were. And it was just a nice growing up experience for my children, and for me as well. Mm-hmm.
When Troc was busy with his stores around, did you travel a lot with him?
No, as a matter of fact, I didn't. I was home with the kids. In those days, it was kind of like a one-man operation. He was the man, and I was the woman, and I stayed with my children and enjoyed doing that. But Leonard and I took many trips on our own for vacations. We took many cruises. We went all over the world. We loved it. It was always good to come home, though. We always liked coming back home. But we managed to be together by ourselves, and then we were together with our children. And I'm very proud of my girls. I think they're wonderful girls. I think they're very supportive of me, particularly at this time of my life. And I'm happy to see what we've done with them. And he was a wonderful father.
Talk to me a little bit about each girl separately, growing up and so on.
Well, let's see. What can I tell you? Lynn wanted to be a cheerleader when she was in high school and was very disappointed when she didn't get the job. She had a lot of friends. She was very outgoing. She and I were always close. We never had any secrets. And Randy was a little bit withdrawn when she was growing up. But it's a funny thing, when Randy went to the University of Tucson, all of a sudden she blossomed. She became president of her AE Phi group and has millions of friends. She keeps in touch with many, many girls. And she's very well liked, and she's very active now in the Federation, as I was in Omaha and in Scottsdale, and I'm active in that now too. And she's a leader. I never knew that she could be a leader, but she is a leader. I thought that only Lynn was, but no, I would say that equally they're both leaders. And they're both girls. They're both good girls. And they have good families. And I think that they're bringing up their children the way I would want to bring up mine, the way I did bring up mine. So we have good values.
We can't leave the sons-in-law out. Can you tell me about them?
Oh, yes. Well, the sons-in-law are great. Steve was able to purchase one of the businesses that Leonard sold at the time of his retirement. And then he had a business at one of the malls at Highland Mall and another business at one of the malls in Austin. But he didn't have them too long because competition had set in. So then he's a computer bug now, and he works on the computer and does a lot of research and does a lot of contacting with stores and people and everything, and that's how he runs his business out of his home. And Dave is a maven. That's Randy's husband. He's one for networking. He's a networking guy, and he's very well liked, and he does a good job, and he's a wonderful dad. And he travels a little bit more than I would like him to, but he has to do that to get himself established in what he's doing. And he has a good arrangement with Randy when he goes. She does not go with him. And that's it. He's active in Federation as well, too.
Let's go one by one and talk about each grandchild.
Oh my, that will take too much time. We'll start with Jay. He's 22. He's the one who is at Madison, Wisconsin. He's graduating in May of this year, of '06. And he's a nice-looking fella. I think he's got his feet on the ground. He's majoring in business, but I think he wants to do some financing with insurance companies. He's been interviewed a few times, and things are looking pretty good for him when he graduates. And Becca, well, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Becca is majoring in drama. She's already been in a couple of plays at USC. She's a sophomore, and she's a darling. And she's living at the dorm. She has a lovely gal that she's living with, and there are 4 other gals in the dorm on the campus of Southern California. I expect big things from her. And now we go to Lindsay, who is Randy's oldest daughter. She's going to be 16. She's more like 16 going on 20. She's very advanced for her age. She's a sophomore in high school. And she has been in a couple of plays as well. She has acted. She loves to act. She wishes she could do that, but it interferes with her studies. So she's concentrating on her studies right now. Who knows what she'll do later in life? I don't know. But she has the go-to-it drive to do what she wants to do. She has a little bit of Dave in her, which is what he's like too. So I think she'll do all right. And Matthew is 12. He's darling. He's so cute. He's very likable. Everybody likes him. He loves sports. He loves football and baseball, and well, he's just good. He's an athlete. And as I say, he's in 6th grade. It's too soon yet to know what he's going to do, but I know he'll do fine when he gets older. And I might add, he's Lindsay's sister, a brother. I'm sorry, Lindsay's brother. And they're fine. So these are my grandchildren. I'm very proud of all of them.
Let's talk a little bit about your activities while you were in Scottsdale.
Yes, well, I was active in the Federation in Scottsdale. I did a little community theater there, but not too much. I had an agent who sent me out on auditions, but not too many. I was with Leonard a lot, and we would travel a lot because he was retired. Actually, there isn't that much for me to say about my activities there. I can actually say that I'm doing more activities here in LA and enjoying it much more because it's what I really want to do. I think the field is more open out here for acting, and that's what I want to do. Mm-hmm.
I'd like to hear about some of the shows that you've appeared on.
The TV shows? Well, this can go back to 1977. This was the start of it. I was on 3 game shows. I didn't know if you knew that or not. In 1977, I was a winning contestant on Name That Tune. Shortly thereafter, I was another winning contestant on Scrabbles. And then, I think about 6 or 7 years after that, I was another winning contestant on Card Sharks. I mean, I was before the camera then, and I think I liked it then, and that's what probably introduced me to doing what I'm doing now. And as far as what I'm doing now, I think it's open. I'm open for anything that comes along that would promote my, quote, career. I've been on 2 TV shows so far. I've also been on a testimonial show out here, which they didn't air, and that was great. I had to talk extemporaneously about the 50s and 60s, the comedians of the 50s and 60s. And I was given DVDs to study that, and I have them in my collection here. And that was good. I enjoyed that. So sometimes when I talk about something that I like, I have to be told, well, you're talking too much. And they said, that's all we need. That's all the information we need. And I don't know if they showed that on the TV or not, but I enjoy doing that. And I also did a commercial, too, for State Farm when I was in Scottsdale. And they put me on a holding fee, but I earned big bucks for about 5 years on that. The holding fee meant I couldn't do any more insurance business with anybody else. I was limited. I had to stay with State Farm. And they held that for 5 years, and then they told me they couldn't hold it anymore, and that was it. So that was an experience. I don't know what else I can tell you.
On some of these shows that you've been on, have you made a lot of contact with people on the shows?
Not really. We're at different levels of life. I'm kind of like at the grandma stage, and these kids were very young. They could be my own daughters, you see, or sons. But I have kept in touch with them by email. Yes, I have their email address. As far as personally getting together, they don't live very close to where I live now. As you know, distances are very distant here, very involved, and you don't see as many people as you would like because they live so far away. That was an advantage of living in Omaha and Scottsdale. I mean, the closeness was there. There was no problem with getting to see people. But here it's a little bit different. I mean, I don't even see my sister as much as I would like to. She's in Westlake Village, which is about 40 miles, 35 to 40 miles from here. But when I really want to see her, it makes no difference to me. I just get in the car and I go. I'm so happy that Trock and I were able to form the Friedel Jewish Academy. We saw there was a need for that, and we went and we saw, I forget the name now, it goes back so long. We were the ones that put that into being. When we started, there were about maybe 8 or 10 children in the Friedel Jewish Academy, and now there's over 30, which proves that it was the right thing to do. We're very happy. This was really Leonard's baby. He was so happy to go forward with this, and I'm very privileged that we did this. In fact, I was even contacted by Cookie Katsky, who is the director of the FJA, and she has invited me to go to Omaha on the 31st of May, along with two other couples that have given graciously, not to the FJA, but to other charities. And we are going to be given an award of some kind, which I think is a real privilege, a very, very nice thing to do. And I told Cookie that I would be there, and she's looking forward to my going there. And we have been very active in the Jewish Federation of Scottsdale and Omaha, and I'm active in it here now. As I said, I was a life member of the National Jewish Council of Women and Hadassah, and Leonard has become a PACE member of the see, all this is hard for me to remember, but his money is being contributed even though he's not with us anymore. And I'm associated with Love, and I too have given a certain amount of money for that, and even when I'm not here, it will continue to go to the Federation. We have a foundation, and the foundation gives to many charitable, worthwhile organizations. And I think if Leonard were here today, he would be very happy to see that it's ongoing, and that because of him too, because of PACE, his contribution has been going. And in closing, I would like to say how fortunate I am to have such a wonderful, wonderful family. I'll start first with my oldest daughter, Lynn. Lynn, honey, words can't express how much I love you and what you mean to me and how you have been my support all these years, honey. I love you so much that I could go on and on and on. You are really a joy to me, and I truly love you, honey. And Randy, sweetie, I love you. If it weren't for your support, honey, I wouldn't be moving here to LA. I wouldn't have made the move. You've been so loving and caring, honey, and you've been so helpful, and you're just a darling, honey, and I love you too. And Steve, sweetie, couldn't ask for a better son than you, honey. You are such an inspiration to me. I love you dearly. The same is true of you, Dave, honey. You are a wonderful, wonderful husband, honey, wonderful father, and just a wonderful son to me as well, honey. You have made Randy happy and the children happy, and I love you dearly. And now I'll start with Jay, my oldest grandson, honey. You are a handsome young man, and I know you'll go far. You are indeed an inspiration, sweetie, and I love you so much. And Becca, darling, I know that you'll succeed in what you want to do. I know that you will be happy being an actress, if it's right. And if it isn't right, there'll be something else for you. But whatever you decide to do, you will be successful and happy doing it. And Lindsay, honey, don't lose your sense of humor, honey. Just keep making friends like you do. You're a darling. You're a beautiful girl, honey. And whatever is in store for you will be right for you as well. And Matthew, darling, I love you. You're just as cute as you can be, honey. And you're so friendly to your friends and to everybody. There's no reason why you won't continue to have a wonderful life, honey, and doing what you want to do. And I guess I've said it all. I love all of you so much that I can't put into words how I really feel about each and every one of you. I love you dearly. You have been my support, and you continue to be my support through all the years. And I'm so grateful and happy that we are such a closely knit family. And what more can I say except I love you very, very much.